Okay, year 8. So thank you, you're back. Welcome back to part B of Select, Refine and Enlarge your drawing. Okay, so far you have got your little grid, all right, and you have got your 2 centimetre squares ready to draw on your letter. Now it's easier for you if you can draw a rectangle which will represent your cereal box, and because the cereal box is three-dimensional, we're going to make that rectangle into a cuboid. Okay, so what I want you to do is 2 squares across from the top left and 3 down, and we're going to just a wee notch here, all right, if you can see that. So that's 2 squares across from the top left corner and 3 down, and just put a little dot. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw down 10 squares, okay, by 6. So let me see. So this is going to, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that really essentially brings you down to the square before the bottom, okay? And we're going to go across 6 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so this is going to represent the front of your cereal box. I'm going to go up again. So this rectangle is the front of your cereal box, because you are going to draw your letter onto the cereal box, and you're going to try and use as much of the box as you possibly can. Okay, so we're going to be taking our letter right out to those edges. So this is the front of the cereal box, and what we're going to do now, as you know, a cereal box is three-dimensional, so we are going to make it into a cuboid. Okay, so if you remember in class, this is very similar to doing the 2D, 3D letters. We are going to take it as though we are going to move the rectangle across 1 square and up 1, and we're going to start our new rectangle in at the back. If you remember, we did this in class. Maybe you learned it a different way with Miss Heron. Okay, but really essentially you're just going to put this point here, you're going to give it a new point over here to make it 3D. Going across 6 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and we're going to go down 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because really what we're doing here is we're replicating the rectangle at the front. Okay, and we are then placing it then 1 square across and up 1, so that we have the same rectangle at the back. And that means that we can then make that a good even cuboid. Okay, all right, we need to join it with our little diagonals like we did with our 2D, 3D letters. Okay, and there we have got our little cereal box. All right, so that represents your cereal box. Okay, and if you were doing this, if you were doing it as an M or a W, you would just simply turn it around this way, so you'd get exactly the same, you'd have exactly the same measurements. All right. So what we're going to do now is we are now going to draw our letter on, all right, and what we're going to do is I am going to do an H, okay. Now the little bridge of my H would be the best thing to work on first, because I want to see where is the center point here. Well, we came down 10 squares, which means halfway would be 5, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. So this really essentially here is my halfway point. So it's always good just to be aware of that. I'll mark it with a little dotted line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And what I want to do now is I want to think, right, what width do I want the little bridge of my H to be? Okay. So it seems like a good idea. We'll do 2 squares at either side of that. Okay, and that can be my bridge, and if I've got 2 squares wide there, I will have 2 squares wide at either side. Very important at this stage to be aware of the fact that you must take your letter right out to the edge. Forget about the extended part at the moment, but you must take your letter right out to the edge of the initial rectangle. Okay, so I'll continue drawing my H. Now some of you will want to do other letters, of course, and you will have to use your brain to think just how you want to draw it on that rectangle. My pencil is losing its legs. Okay, and we're going to draw up. All right, so imagine that is the H on your 2D, 3D letter worksheet. Okay, and what we're going to do is we are now going to then make it three-dimensional. Okay, so if you remember, for any of you who have me for art, that's Mrs. Seffin talking here. Okay, we are going to make it 3D and use your little 2D, 3D letter worksheet to help you. So we have a right angle here, if you remember, I talked this through with you in class. And you simply draw, from, when you have a little right angle, you draw from one end of the square to the other. Okay, we have a right angle here, so we draw from one end of the square to the other. Now don't all be doing H's just because that's the one that I'm demonstrating. Be confident and know that you can do this. Okay, we have another little right angle here. We're going to make it 3D. Down here, don't forget about the little centre pieces. It's very easy to forget those. I'm trying to draw it that wee bit heavier so that you can see it on my video. Okay, so just let you see what we're doing here so far. You can start to see that H starting to become 3D. We've got a little right angle down here, and we are going to then also join it from one corner to the other. Now the beauty of this one is that you've got more squares in the centre. When you did the 2D, 3D letter worksheet, you didn't have that advantage, okay, because it was the nature of the worksheet where it was only one square wide. At least here you're able to see that little, what we call negative space in there. Okay, so I'll just hold that up for you. All right, and hopefully now you can start to see your letter appear. Now I can rub out, there's some lines there that I don't need, so I'm going to take that opportunity now and I'm going to just even make those just that wee bit lighter. Don't worry about rubbing out the grid or anything at this point, but you can make it stand out just a little bit better by lightly dusting over it with your rubber. Okay, just to get rid of those old heavy lines, and it really means then that you can see your H that wee bit better. I have got an example of a B here. Okay, you can see a B, all right, from my other example. Okay, and I also have an S in its early stage for anybody who wants to see the S. That's it before it is made three-dimensional. Okay, and you can see there when I do an S, I always try and make the letters here 2 squares wide the whole way around. It's the same with all of the letters. And if you can just see, there's like a little secret donut in there. All right. And then there's another little secret donut which overlaps the 2 squares in the center. Okay. And you can start to see those. It's a great way to do it. Okay. The little secret donuts, one overlapping the other. Okay. And then what you do is you choose where to start your S and you choose where to finish it by drawing the 2 little horizontal lines, and then you simply then make your line just that wee bit stronger. Okay, and that's a good way to do the S. And then it's a matter of using your 3D worksheet, 2D 3D worksheet, to then draw those in. Okay, I'm trying to do it upside down here. Right, down to here. Okay, comes up, comes round, comes across, and it comes down and just joins in. And likewise here. Okay, you've you've got an angle, so you draw to the opposite side of the square. You've got a little angle here, you draw to the opposite side of the square. So this is the end of your S, kind of like your little snake. Okay, and so if I can just shade it in for the matter of this little demonstration. Okay, that's the shading would go that way, and this shading would go this way. You don't need to shade it at this point, it's just for the purpose of the demonstration so you can see, because obviously you're not here. Okay, and it just leaves it that wee bit more tricky for you, but you can do this. Okay, and we're going to just, again, for the purpose of the demonstration, we're going to then put the shading in. All right. And let your shading go with the curve, and that shows that you fully understand what this area actually is. Okay, don't be afraid, have faith in yourself, because you can do this. Got the little curves coming up, straight there. You want to always keep it totally parallel to the letter at the very front. Okay. And then you've got your little S. All right, now you can, that's then whenever you would then rub out these little areas here, okay, that you don't need. So there's an example of an S, there's an example of an H, okay, and there is an example of a B, and I've actually got the cereal box drawn out there in pink, if anybody wants to pause on that point. Okay. Okay, so we're going to put those aside, all right, and then what you're going to do is you are now going to start to put on your detail. Now, like what I showed you in part A of this lesson, if you feel you've not got enough space, okay, you can add on little extensions, and what you're simply doing is you're doing what you did with your 4 letter designs, only this time you're really focusing on what bits that you would build out. For instance, over here you may think about, this is S for ship, and I am putting a little bit of extra shaping onto the front here so that I can alter it for the bow of the ship, and I'm perhaps adding on some waves, and then we have the back of our ship here as well. I'm adding on little details such as the port hole, okay, the funnels of the ship up here at the top, and of course then adding on maybe a great big sail. I don't know if she would have a sail and a funnel at the same time, but just for the purpose of the demonstration, we've added a few extras. Okay, so you really want to finish that and finalize that, okay, and really concentrate. What are we looking for at this stage? We're really looking for detail, for you trying to refine your creativity and your imagination, refine your design ideas, and try to get every little bit of your letter really enhanced and extra special, so that you have got all those extra ideas on there. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. I don't know if I have any others here to show you. There's S for skier. If I can hold that closer, you can see S for skier. Okay, and here you can see where I have thought about the little base that I would put on. S sometimes can rock, and therefore it often needs a little base. Other letters such as P or F that are a little top heavy may also fall over as well, so you might want to think about a base in future for those. So in this occasion the skis work. We've got a little hat on, we've put a wee scarf on, and we've shown ways in which we can alter it. Okay, you want to alter your letter so that you can show your 3D thinking and your problem skills. Okay, so enjoy the designing of your letter, all right, and make sure that you give it 100% effort so that you can show your creativity and your imagination. Thank you, and I'll see you in week 6.